What's up, everyone? I'm attempting to stream from my computer. I don't know if you can see me or hear me. See what the latency is there. Test. See what the latency is there. So audio's working. Yeah, Carlos, all night. All night. I'm just trying to get this figured out. That's all I'm trying to do. Camera's a little crooked, but that's all right. I need to do some water testing, so I figured I'd bring you along with me. You know, the funny thing is, at the gym, I commend you, man. I'm ready to get back in the gym. I spent more time getting all this set up than it's probably even worth. But, oh well. Oh well. I'm just going to do some nitrate, high and low range with the RedSea kit. This is tank water. And alkalinity and phosphate test. The camera's probably kind of grainy because I'm using a webcam for this, so oh well. So if you aren't familiar with the RedSea kit, it'll do a high and low range test. And if you're doing a high range test, you actually use 15 mil of RO water. So I'm actually going to do the high range on the left and the low range on the right. At least that's what I'm going to attempt to do. So that's 15 milliliters of RO and a single milliliter of tank water. That'd be high range. Trying to get into the best habit of testing on Saturdays. That's what I'm trying to do. I tested magnesium and calcium last week, so I'm just not going to test for it again. Angry Al Aquariums, you're doing it wrong. Probably am, but that's all right. All right. One, two, three, four, five. Just do it wrong consistently and it doesn't matter. There's so much truth to that statement. Oh. Alright, so we got the drops done in that one. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I can count. I do use a timer on my phone, especially the B portion is 60 seconds. So you counted to 6. You must have not watched, man, my brain. Bert and Ernie and the Count when you were growing up. Sesame Street. One, two. So this one's gonna have to go for a minute. What's everybody up to today? Watching basketball? Pretty good game comes on at 5 o'clock Central. Kentucky versus Florida. Watching me is all you had planned. I'll give you access to my camera system in the house so you can just watch us. It's like Big Brother. What's up, Al? Or AL. Al for short. What's going on? I did buy some corals last night, and they should ship out on Monday. So that's exciting. The only thing that sucks is they had this awesome blue hammer that I wanted, and didn't have it anymore whenever I went to go get it. So, you know, I bought a couple torches, a couple frog spawns, a couple odd and end pieces, and I did buy additionally another green slimer and a pink stylo. Those are the 2 corals as far as SPS are concerned that I really want to keep. I've always liked the green slimer. I've told you everybody this millions of times, but the purple stylo is another coral that I've always liked a lot. And I'm going to give it another go. But I was excited about the frog spawns. It's been a while since I've had a frog spawn, so that part's done. A lot of people were saying that the nitrate test kit's a good test kit. Can't vouch for that. Never used anything but the RedSea, but let me give it a whirl once this one's gone. And I don't know where my nitrates are at because I didn't do so well dosing nitrates this week. So they may be completely bottomed out again. Who knows? So this one's done. It's the high range. Already showing some color, so that's good. That means that this one should show color pretty quickly. Just like I said, figured it would show. And it's dark, the low range is, so that's good. Salifert's less involved. I like that. So put my timer on 9 minutes now. Get this brewing. Alright, what's next? We're going to do some phosphate test kits. And maybe that coral was from the 50 milliliter nitrate you dosed last weekend. That video was like 2 months ago. So the tank should be good, but that was a lot. That was stupid. But I'm sure some of you watching, the way that I do my phosphate test is going to be, you're going to say I'm doing it wrong. But like Joey said a minute ago, as long as you're consistent with your wrongdoing, then it doesn't matter. But this is how I've done it for a long, long time. So, and I'll speak more on that in 1 second once I get to that point. So first thing I'm going to do before I get too involved with it is press the button to make sure that it comes on and doesn't need a damn battery. So we're good there. Give me some tank water. I don't need to test my RO water for phosphates. Perfect. All right. I do it with one vial. I actually did before I started the live stream. I rinsed them in the tank. I didn't feel like making everybody wait for me to do that. So, cloth here, get it good and cleaned. Gonna try to get some bubbles out of there. Press the button. Tell me C2. So, well, what I'll do is I'll take this cloth here so I don't have to clean it extra good again. And since you have to shake this for 2 minutes, get the cocaine in here. Just wrap it up good here. Shake it. So according to my timer over there at 5:14, I can stop shaking it. And then I'm going to show you what I do. But you have to remember, if you have one of these also, that there is a time limit and it will shut off. Yeah, that's right. And I do have the standards for this. I probably should test it again, but it's always been within range. The funnel technique. Oh. All right, 5:20, 6 more seconds. So this is what I do, folks. So I don't care about the bubbles in here. What I do is I put it in here, press and hold, and I start the timer. 3 minutes. Then I pull it back out, and during that 3-minute time frame, I'm going to use 1 minute of it to do the second part of the shaking. This is the phosphorus URL checker. I mean, does it really need 3 minutes to set inside of there and settle out? I don't think so, and I've never done it that way. I've always started the 3-minute timer and pulled it back out, shook it for another minute, then I'll throw it back in there and we'll be good to go. So that's the high range. There's 4 minutes, 20 seconds left. 4:20. That's the low range. There's some cough syrup. You know, I was just reading about this checker one day, and on the forums, and a ton of people said that that's how they do it. I mean, what's this thing doing for 3 minutes? It's just looking at light. It's just giving you a countdown, really, so that you can make sure you have this thing back in there in time. That's all it's doing. So, minute 40 left on that one. Let's see how terrible my alkalinity is. Can't see. I don't know what holding it up like this does because I know I'm not holding it level. So we're good there. This is the DKH checker that I have. Make sure the battery works. Now, I did drop this in a cup of RO water at one point. The whole thing went into a cup, and it's worked fine. What reaction? This ain't no nuclear plant. I'm testing for phosphates. I agree, Reef Keeper. Come on, man. I'm not running a nuclear plant here. So I'm going to let the phosphorus checker finish out before I start the alkalinity. $37, which translates to, I miss having the Apex because the Apex would just do it for you. Now I use the chart on Hannah's website. 0.113. So do that. All right. Alkalinity time. No, I don't even want to talk about uranium. You're going to get my channel shut down. Then I'm going to have to come over there and pull that center brace out of the sump since you don't need a 75-gallon center brace. So again, I just use the cloth to always hold the valve, make sure I don't get my greasy paws on there. Try to get as much of the bubbles out of there. Press again. 11.1, which is really high. So I'm probably going to test that again. Let me rephrase that. I'm not probably going to test again. I am going to test that again. And instead of pulling water out of this, I'm actually going to pull water out of the tank. My alkalinity has never, ever been that high. The last time I checked alkalinity, which was last weekend, we go to the aquatic log here. My alkalinity was 9.3. So I'm going to argue with this one. Killer owl arm. All right, I'm going to try to ramble on, but I've got to walk to the tank, get this rinsed out, get some tank water, do the alkalinity again. Stand by. So, something pretty cool happened yesterday. Nah, the Kalk's never done that. I've been dosing the same amount of Kalk for years. Roger with Tunze USA. If you don't know, if you don't have Tunze products, you probably never talked to him. But he's a great guy, a great help. But I have the 6055 pumps, and I want to get the wider cages for it for a wider flow. With my tank being so short, the direct flow is just, I just feel like I want the wider cages. So anyway, if you buy them off the Tunze website, you got to pay for shipping, blah, 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 blah. And I verified with him the parts that I needed. I'm also going to get the propeller too, the motor block. And anyway, I just happened to look up the part number on eBay yesterday, and lo and behold, the cages were on there, the propellers were on there, and then I found a 10% eBay code that I could use on there, so I ordered them. So if you don't have any Tunze products, or you have Tunze products and you're looking for parts or whatever, Tunze USA, it's just all lowercase, one word, Tunze USA. They've started an eBay store. And whenever I looked through there yesterday, they had a ton of stuff. I didn't sort through it all, but then I actually messaged Roger, and I was like, is this you? And he said it sure is. And the reason why I asked is because it only had one of the propellers on there that I needed. And I asked, I said, is there going to be another one listed? If so, can it go ahead and be listed? And he said, yeah, we're actually just getting used to how eBay works. We have 7 of them, but we didn't know how to put quantities in there. So he said, I just relisted it again. So I was thrilled about that. What's up, Chimp the Reefer? What's going on? All right, so the final result here is the low range nitrate, which is great. The high range, you know, it's terrible to look at these colors, but I'm using sunlight to hit it. So it's somewhere between 4 and 8, which it is what it is. I'm all right with that. So what was the first? 11.1? Yep, 11.1. Let's see what we got for the second go around. No, Bob Saget. Or Pat Sajak. The color wheel. Say Wheel of Fortune. Come on, Vanna. I don't know where Bob Saget come from, but then I remembered it's Pat Sajak. If this comes back even remotely close to 11.1, nah, it's all good and fun, but you know that already anyway. So, second time, 9.9, which last week was, what would I say, 9.6, 9.3, and I did a water change. So, well, I am wondering what my, my magnesium is now, but I'm actually just going to cut back on the Kalkwasser anyway. First time was great. Make a bunch of changes. If I didn't track this, you know, the testing with Aquatic Log, then I probably would have gone in and done something stupid to the tank. But since since I do track it, knew that that was going to be way off. So here's your color wheel. If this makes you happy, we'll spin it, and oh, bankrupt. So that's 2, that's 4. I was right. You don't need this. And if you're going to ask about the little piece that you put 2 vials in, no, I threw that away a long time ago. Don't need it. So the other thing that I need to test for today is salinity. This is what I use. And every time I test salinity, I calibrate it. And this thing holds calibration pretty good. So, which I try not to set it down real hard. I feel like that could be an issue with calibration, but yeah, I know that's not how you use it. I don't use it, so I don't even know how to use it. I don't need to. I just look at the color. And quite frankly, to be honest with you, as long as I have a color, especially in a high range test kit, I'm satisfied. You're trying to just overcomplicate everything. It's like the new math, you know. I know that 2 times 2 is 4, but you're going to make me go out and do 14 lines of math to tell you that it's 4? They call it new math. It's a new headache is what it is. It's all that it is. It's always getting me wound up in here. It's more fun, isn't it? Can't read that comment. It's too far away. I need my glasses. Probably could have used the color from the low range kit to color my hair purple. That'd have been fun. So I got a letter in the mail from overseas this week, and I'm just now getting around to open it. Hey Pelfrey, hope you like the sticker. Happy reefing. Look at that. Dr. Welsh. Appreciate it. Love it. Definitely going on my water containers. I don't know if you can see it, but didn't take too long to get here either. Lower? Yeah, it's hard to see. And I'm using, like I said, a webcam, so I'm trying to figure out what I can and can't. Oh, the light's terrible also. call me and then text me, "Are you home?" What's up, Click Clack? What's going on? Just testing some water, doing my duties here. Trying to take care of my little fish friends. Yeah, that's cool. Little anonymous dude. I like it. It's creative. Oh. What's up, T40? What's going on? What's everybody doing? Actually, that was my sister that called. And she said that she's going to drop off some money from my daddy to give to me. On a trust fund, baby. My family just gives me money because. No, I'm joking. He's on my cell phone plan, but he can't ride on my cell phone plan for free. That's terrible. I just got my nitrate, phosphate, and DKH tested, so satisfied. Daddy's got to pay. He made a good living. He can give me $20 a month, but he lives like 35, 40 minutes from here, so he ain't no point in driving in for that. So, but I wish he would. I like them surprise visits from the parents. From any family, anyway. Any family or friend. I like it. Get to hang out with them. So, my sister's going to be coming back. Since she's got money, we'll expedite that process. I'm here all day. Bring me my money. You'll be here in 14 hours. Well, you better wear some sleeves. I'll be walking in my house with that stuff on your arm. I kid. I'm pretty satisfied with my tank T40. I was playing with the Tunze pumps yesterday, or Thursday. Got the standing wave going. I really missed the standing wave and the waving action of the euphilia, so it was pretty cool to figure out. I think I have an issue with one of my controllers. So here in a minute, I'm going to take a video of it and send it to Tunze to see if they can figure out why. You can go to auto adjust, and it will go through its 20-second frequency where it's auto adjusting the pump, and then you select the button to say wave OK, and it never does that. Or let me rephrase it, I have two of the same pumps, and one of them, whenever you hit wave OK, the light stays just lit up, and the second one, the light's flashing. And they're not the same age, so maybe that's just how it is. But I'm going to find out. Unfortunately, I've got you all on a webcam, on a tripod, with only like 10 foot of USB cable. Otherwise, I would be more than happy to take you on a road trip with me. But I can't haul all this gear over there. Sorry, man. So, calibrating the refractometer right now. Just a simple drop. on it. I like to use the light that's right behind the camera because I can get right up on it with the refractometer, or refractometer. My phosphates were a little elevated. What's up, Derby City? Because I fed some Benepets this week. Pretty heavy because my phosphates were kind of low. How far do I have the light from the chaeto morpha? It was like 2 inches. Now it's probably like 4 to 6 inches away. That's why you calibrate this. It's slightly off. So had I just gone over and tested my tank, it definitely would have given me the wrong answer. So what I typically do, now that I've adjusted it a little bit, just clean it off again. I'm going to put some calibration fluid back on it. Let it set. Get it checked out again, just to make sure. I looked up the dual BRS media reactor last night with GFO and carbon. Oh, you hooked up, sorry. Is that too much? The issue that I have is that if you leave the GFO in there and going from 0.32 to 0.05 in 12 hours, if the GFO is still in there, it's going to deplete it completely. So, I mean, it depends on what you have in the tank, but I would pull the GFO out and leave the phosphates alone for the moment, unless they've already stripped back to zero. Yeah, T40, the reason why I raised it is because the screws on the bottom of the light were starting to rust. And I knew that it was just because it was so close to the water line. So I made a new bracket for it and just raised it up a little bit. But I love that light. Actually, I bought a 25 or 30 watt light. And I'm mad because I thought it was just going to be like one color, but you got to turn the power on, off, on, off, on, off, on, off to cycle through the 4 colors it has. So, oh well. Sorry about that. A calcium reactor. If I had the money, I would. But Aquamax makes a tiny calcium reactor. It's like $125, which would be perfect for my tank. But then you got to buy, if I bought one, I'd buy the carbon doser. And I'd buy probably just the Kamoer pump versus the Versa. And it starts going up pretty quickly. So I have a gallon of the ESV bionic calcium, alkalinity, and magnesium. So it's I could dose that for a while. What do you mean it's not good to have water sitting in the reactors? Oh, I didn't see the comment above that. Maybe put it on a timer and only run a couple of hours a day. No, I'm like Joey, where I just wouldn't want the water sitting there stagnant, because whenever the timer kicks on, that stagnant water's then gonna go into the tank. I would just pull the GFO out, run carbon through one canister, and then let the water flow through the second one. And then if you're adamant about using GFO, which if you do it at this point, you're definitely going to strip the entire tank of phosphates. Tiny amounts. So if it does creep back up, just a tiny amount of GFO. Any suggestions how long I should leave the lights on when I'm just starting off? I think that I started off at like 8 hours, and I've actually cut that down to 5 or 6 now, because I'm dosing nitrates to the tank. Yep, I agree with Chimp the Reefer. Just use half or less the GFO they suggest. Oh. All right, folks. I'm going to wrap this up, get my mess cleaned up, kick back and relax, get ready to watch some Kentucky basketball later. I did test salinity also. It's 1.026, which is where I keep it, so we're good there. So, yep, you got to be easy with the GFO. The GFO is good stuff. It will lower phosphates, but it can do it quick. And again, if you don't pull the GFO, and even if you just try to use a minimal amount at the moment at this moment with your phosphates being so low, it's definitely going to strip the tank of phosphates. So my phosphates have been all over the place. You know, especially if you're feeding reefroids. I feed benepets now, but you're gonna have, that's adding phosphates to the water. So, you know, whenever I use my fingers to pinch it, and whenever I think that I have it's like a tiny amount, I let more go off my finger, because it could, a little bit goes a long way. It really does. So, yep, I'm gonna hop off here, hang out, relax. So, appreciate everybody watching me test my tank water. So I'll catch you all later.